I'm going to break down 5 reasons why being comfortable with looking poor doesn't just help you build your wealth, but it also helps you build your character and gives you the kind of freedom that so many people out there are wishing for. It's a bit ironic, but trying to look financially well off can actually keep people broke. This might be hard to wrap your head around because we're so conditioned to think that being rich means having flashy possessions and living a life that's all about showing off. The whole Instagram lifestyle, basically. But in reality, true wealth is often invisible. The first reason to embrace looking poor. Looking rich is expensive, and it's one of the quickest ways to go broke. You see this all the time with professional athletes and celebrities. Take Mike Tyson, for example. Despite making $400 million in his career, he reportedly had $27 million of debt when he filed for bankruptcy. And just last year, Al Pacino admitted that he went from having $50 million to being broke, all because of overspending and ignoring his finances. The list of people who made a lot of money and lost it all is pretty long. So think about it. If these people can lose all their money trying to look rich, what chances do the rest of us have if we follow the same path? If you want to build real wealth, avoiding the need to look rich is crucial. On the other hand, there's people like Ronald Read, who came from a poor background and worked as a gas station attendant, mechanic, and later as a janitor. But through his frugal lifestyle, he was able to invest in the stock market, and by the time he died, he had $8 million. He did it all while living on a modest income, and he put 2 stepchildren through college. True wealth is quiet, while the appearance of wealth, or trying to look rich, is loud and often driven by worrying too much about what other people think. And honestly, that's financially destructive. When it comes to your personal finances, consistently thinking or seeking the approval of others is a dangerous addiction that can keep you from building real wealth. Quiet wealth isn't about hiding your success, it's about protecting it. It's a philosophy based on 3 key principles. Avoid unnecessary attention, prioritize financial security over flashy spending, and value humility. Quiet wealth is all about focusing on what truly matters, which is experiences, relationships, peace of mind, and simplicity, not buying a bunch of stuff. When you try and look rich, you're usually just buying liabilities anyway, things that only increase your expenses and lose value over time. Quiet wealth, on the other hand, is all about investing in things that grow over time, saving for your future, and not needing to prove anything to anybody. So instead of spending on things that depreciate, put your money to work so that one day you won't have to work anymore. The number 2 reason to embrace looking poor is it allows you to live with authenticity. Here's the thing, choosing to look poor can actually be a powerful way to live authentically. It shifts your focus away from trying to impress others and puts it on what really matters, your values, your goals, and your peace of mind. We live in a world that is obsessed with status symbols, fancy cars, expensive clothes, and the latest gadgets. But when you intentionally choose a modest or unassuming lifestyle, you free yourself from the constant pressure to seek validation from others. Think about it. True wealth doesn't need to prove itself. A lot of people who look rich are really just drowning in debt. They're flashy lifestyles, mostly funded by borrowed money, not actually financial security. When you choose simplicity, it's about waking up every day with peace of mind. So stop worrying about what other people think and focus on what truly matters to you and what's most important. And the best part, financial freedom. When you're not stressed about keeping up appearances, you can make smarter decisions with your money, giving yourself real control over your life. So let me take a quick moment here and say I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, maybe leave some comments below. Helps the algorithm, supports the channel. So thank you. Okay, now the number 3 reason to embrace looking poor. It frees you from constantly feeling dissatisfied. There's actual research behind this. It's called the hedonic treadmill. It basically is a never-ending cycle where you keep chasing new stuff because the novelty of whatever we just got wears off pretty quickly. Think about the last time you really wanted something new. Maybe it was a new car, a phone, or a trendy outfit. At first, it can feel great to have something new. But then that excitement eventually fades, and suddenly you are eyeing the next thing you want. No matter how much you buy or how hard you work to get it all, you will never feel like you've completely made it. This cycle keeps you stuck in survival mode, constantly spending, racking up debt, and feeling dissatisfied because there's always something else you want. It's a trap of fleeting satisfaction, fooling yourself into thinking that happiness is just one more purchase away. But here's the truth. It's not about getting to some mythical destination. It's about stepping off the treadmill completely. Now, when you're focused on looking rich, that only makes the cycle worse. It's a vicious loop. You make money, spend it on liabilities, run out of money, and then you got to work even harder just to pay off the debts. The problem with this mindset is it makes money feel like nothing more than a survival tool to pay for stuff you don't really need, instead of using it to build real financial security and freedom for yourself. It's exhausting. You tie your happiness to what you own, and the stress of it keeps piling on. But here's the thing, real freedom, it's about breaking the cycle. It's about focusing on what truly matters, your purpose, meaningful experiences, and relationships. None of that can be bought. And that's exactly what makes it priceless. Number 4 reason to embrace looking poor, it builds discipline in your life. Self-discipline is such an important part of living a successful life. It helps you stay focused on your goals by choosing long-term benefits over those short-term temptations. It helps you make better decisions by resisting impulsive ones. And when you have self-discipline, you're more productive. You can manage your emotions better, and you're able to handle stress without falling apart, which, let's be honest, makes life a whole lot easier. Plus, it's huge for your health. It helps you stick to good habits like eating right and maybe staying active. Now, trying to look rich, that's the opposite of discipline. It usually means spending money you don't even have to keep up appearances. But real discipline is about being smart with your money, saving it, investing it, and not letting what your friends or neighbors are doing dictate your choices. After controlling for age, gender, and individual social economic status, researchers found that residents of wealthy neighborhoods were more likely to be materialistic, spend compulsively, and manage their money poorly than those living in less affluent areas. And I get it. People want to feel like they've earned nice things. But here's the thing. Don't you deserve to have more than just keeping up appearances? Don't you deserve a secure retirement, less financial stress, and more freedom to enjoy life? If you can stick to the discipline of spending mindfully and stop worrying about what other people think, you'll not only save and invest more, but you'll also get all of the other rewards that come with self-discipline, like better health, better relationships, and better life overall. The number 5 reason to embrace looking poor. If you try and look rich, people will treat you differently. It's not always for the better either. When you appear rich, some people might want to be part of your life for the wrong reasons, maybe for status, financial gain, or influence. Others might even feel envious or distance themselves, thinking you're out of their league. But when you choose simplicity and authenticity, people treat you for who you really are, not for what you have. True connections come from genuine relationships, not the image that you're trying to project. The image so many people want to project on their Instagram is just a bunch of superficial garbage. Being superficial isn't an admirable trait anyway. Be genuine, and the right people will be in your life for the right reasons. Just to clarify, when I say looking poor, I'm not talking about wearing raggedy old clothes, looking homeless, or driving a rust bucket. I'm just talking about living modestly, without any flashy signs of wealth. Think blue jeans, t-shirt, driving a middle-class car. Actually, getting rich is just a collection of small decisions that add up to something much bigger over time. A smaller house can save you money. A cheaper car can save you money. And focusing on living modestly in general can really help build your wealth. It's rather sad that a recent survey found that 73% of Americans rank their finances as the #1 stress in their life. Much of that can stem from wanting to look better off than you really are, or feeling entitled to things that you can't afford. But imagine the peace of mind that you would have if any time a large, unexpected expense happens in your life, it would just be an inconvenience and not a stressful event, because you have the money to take care of problems. The biggest wealth you can ever experience is having a healthy body, a peaceful mind, and the right people in your life. Trying to look rich, on the other hand, often comes across as superficial and attracts the wrong people. So I hope you picked up some tips in this video, and thank you for watching.